What's going on, everyone? What's happening? And of course, we are live here on Edge of Philly Sports with my main guys, of course, my Mitchy Poo right below, as you know, on third. But he's back with vengeance. Is my man Dodge? Dodge, what's happening, man?
Good, man. Happy to join again. Had to fight through some medical things, still fighting, but we're here. Sixers fought hard basically until the final 6 to 8 minutes of this one. We'll get into it.
Yeah. Listen, the people have been asking me and Mitch, where has the man been? Where is the great Dives? And I told him I know you're getting tired of seeing this 44-pound head. So, but I'm glad you're here. Listen, like you said, it got ugly down the stretch. And right away, one of the things that stood out to me about this game coming down the stretch, where I thought the Sixers had it in the bag because Buddy Hield had ice in his veins and fire out of his hands tonight, shooting beyond 5 for 11 perimeter. He got cold in that second half, but that first half he was on fire shooting from perimeter. But other than him though, and Maxey, the team was a little bit cold tonight. What Dodge, what would you have done different to try and get this dub?
Yeah, it's not unlike things we've seen from this Sixers team, especially without Joel Embiid. Listen, like I love Tyrese Maxey as much as anybody, but he straight up gets tunnel vision in clutch time. He struggles to create his own shot. It's basically death taxes, and the Sixers consistently struggling against the Miami Heat zone. They've never figured it out. They've never figured out how to rebound a goddamn basketball. The offense just went into the complete toilet bowl. The last 5 minutes were essentially Hield and Maxey passing it to each other while everyone was watching. Maxey's shot selection was beyond horrible. They were just outgunned. You saw the defense, I think, get gassed. Nick Nurse played the starters a ton of minutes. But I had some problems with this fourth quarter, man. Like you look at Nick Nurse in this fourth quarter, that some decisions, like why the hell is KJ Martin out there while Ricky Council the fourth was absolutely a massive component of this one, especially in the third quarter, a huge reason why the Sixers were really involved in this game. I didn't like that decision, especially with his lack of shooting and everything we were seeing at that moment. I didn't like that last defensive possession when the Sixers gave up a putback down 3 points. Like Payne should have been in there. Council should have been in there. Why were they trapping on that last possession? Just play that straight up, man. Stop giving up the easy boards, man. It was a tough loss for sure because it was winnable for sure. But
Yes.
some bad decisions, some bad shot selection, some even worse rebounding just bit them in the ass in the end.
Totally agree. Mitch, I'm going to go to you with this one. Coming down the stretch again, I'm looking for your third straight win. However, and to kind of convert what Dives is saying, do you think Bolster just flat out coach Nick Nurse at the end here?
I mean, there were just some adjustments I would like to see differently. There's just the players were not there. There was no competitiveness towards the end. I get everyone was tired. Maxey was hurt. He came back in. This is a much-needed All-Star break, but that's no excuse for a game like this. At the end, that's no excuse. So, they didn't play well at the end.
Yeah, and I agree. Again, I just thought that the defense just fell apart. And listen, in credit to Miami, just was unloading from the perimeter, just kept on, and the way they were just finding ways to cut through this defense a few times. That's one of the major concerns I have about the Sixers is the defense and the perimeter defense, especially. I'm worried about it. And again, like Dives, you said, KJ Martin get tons of minutes. And I need some firepower. So I got to match firepower for firepower. I need Derek Juan Smith. He was, again, I know we only got a little sample size of the guy, but he was another one who could shoot from the perimeter as well. I need all that firepower and more against this high-powered, Miami team. I'm going to need that. Not every game you're going to win miraculously like you did on Monday night against Cleveland. You got to try and figure this out, and that's one of the downfalls I have with Nick Nurse. I think he's just being out-coached.
I mean, Eric Spoelstra is a phenomenal coach. Like, it didn't matter that the Heat were also missing guys. The Sixers have historically struggled against this team, and I mean, you look at some numbers here. The Miami Heat had 6 more attempts at the basket than the Sixers in a close game. That was ultimately the difference. But yeah, Campaign had a really bad game. I absolutely agree. But
Yes.
as a floor spacer, they were really struggling there in the fourth quarter, especially against that zone. Yeah, that's where I go. I go that the Sixers just, I don't know. The moment they learn how to beat a zone defense and rebound the basketball, I feel like they're going to win a championship. It's that simple.
Yeah, and look, we listen. We all get it. That was some of the flaws coming back on this trade deadline is that they didn't get a serviceable backup big man, and I get it. Paul Reed looks good at times, and Mambamba has a little sparks here and there, but it's just not enough for what just trying to fill that void of Embiid or something close to it. And we all heard it for the last 2 weeks. I bet from grocery store shopping, mall shopping, whatever we're at, that everyone's saying we should have got Drummond. We should have got Drummond. I got it, but that's one of the things that's going to hurt this team moving forward. But I mean, like I said, if you got to match firepower for firepower if you're going to want to hang with the Miami Heats of the world and the Clevelands of the world and so forth moving forward.
I don't understand why they just kept Council the Fourth out of this one in clutch time. Like, his confidence,
Yes.
man. Can we just talk about his confidence?
And let's get right into Cecil cancel. Let's get right to cancel the fourth. And like I when I see this kid play, I just see pure I want to be a star aggressiveness move. Like with the what stuff he does in the paint, the way he gets rebounds, the way he gets creative in the paint, whether it's 2 or 3 guys defending him in his own defense, he's about the only one that makes any kind of noise in the paint. And I think it kind of tries to speak volumes and it tries to send a ripple effect to the rest of that bench. But so far, he's the only one that's shown me any kind of life inside that paint.
Yeah, he had a really good third quarter. He was a big part of that response when the Heat were kind of making a run. I look at Council, man. He's just straight up passes the eye test just with his confidence alone, his ability to track the ball. There were times in this game when he was flowing really well with Maxey within the offense, and I was like, the fact that he's doing that without playing much for the Sixers is unbelievable to me. He just looks ready for playoff minutes, man. He's giving you everything you imagine Jaden Springer to be in a lot of positive ways. For me, he's I don't know. He checks off a lot of boxes in ways that things you want Tobias Harris to be. He's got the size. He's active defensively, fighting for loose balls. He's not afraid to get to the rim. In fact, like if you give him the slightest window, he's taking advantage. Council has been nothing but impressive. He had 13 points in 23 minutes, 10 shots, 1 of 4 from 3, 2 assists. He's having a huge impact in so many very variety of ways, offensively and defensively, and just his growth as an offensive basketball player has been so incredible. And he's got that dog in him too, man. Like he's a fun one.
Yeah, and I'm going to throw this one right to Mitch. I mean, the injuries in some ways kind of helped his playing time because now with that, I mean, you're getting more canceled. You're getting more of him, and now when you're getting a healthy Nick Batunes of the world, and you're going to get Milton's back, what does Nick Nurse do with him?
That's something that everybody's been asking me. It's just like with the depth we have on his roster, it's like it's going to be hard for anyone to find minutes, especially for Ricky Council. Travion is probably not going to get much minutes anymore. It's sad to see because I really like what Ricky Council is doing. Him and Buddy Hield are making the Sixers fun to watch again. So without Ricky Council, I'm like, well, there we go. It is what it is, man. Yeah. It is what it is.
Yeah, I wanted this win too because you saw the Knicks were getting blown out, and if they had beaten, if they haven't gotten the win, I think they would have leaped the Knicks in the standings. But yeah, Buddy Hield, man, is he not incredible? Like, well, what the creation, the passing, him and Paul Reed look like they've meant to play together for a long time. It like the
Yeah.
more I watch Buddy Hield in Philadelphia, the more it makes me angry that they should have made this move 3 years ago.
Right.
He is such a fit. Like, I don't know if Embiid's returning this season, but you see the fit with Embiid, and it's pitch perfect. So yeah, Hield has been just a pleasant surprise, not just his scoring, but the way he moves with the basketball, the way he creates for others, the way he operates in the pick and roll, his decisiveness with the basketball, man. It's really been a breath of fresh air in many regards. Like, and it truly shows you how much Tobias like stagnates the offense.
Mm-hmm.
The sky's the limit with Buddy Hield, man. I hope he's in Philly for a long time.
So I agree. Barry Green checking in. He goes, B-Ball Paul had an awesome game, but they didn't have enough height out there in the end. Last board by Bobby was a long rebound. All the Sixers were low in the post. Dodge, what's your take on Barry's comment here?
Yeah, I saw B-Ball. I thought B-Ball Paul had a phenomenal game. I just saw him get gassed. That was a big piece. Like I said, the Sixers should not have trapped on that one possession that led to the offensive board and putback. I did not like that decision. But Kelly Oubre, I think Nick Nurse should have Kelly Oubre doing suicides all day long tomorrow because his refusal to box out on that one defensive possession left the board wide open and another putback. Just lack of discipline, lack of fundamentals, some bad decisions. It was not good. It was bad offensively and defensively. But yeah, I mean, I can't let the offense out of it as well because Maxi's shot selection was even worse than the rebounding. He was just not getting his. They did not adjust to the zone at all. So it was a hot mess. And this is kind of the pattern of we've mostly seen from the Sixers without Embiid is teams will lock this Sixers team up during clutch time, and they really don't have creators on this team to get buckets. It's just what it is.
No, and I agree with you. I think because of the lack of, because you don't have Embiid, you have an inconsistent Tobias Harris. This makes defense on zone on one guy. One guy they have the zone in on. And he, like you said, his shot selection is horrible. All he does is just run just try and make some crazy layup. I mean, earlier in the game, he had some pullbacks and he was making some nice, creating space, shooting some nice threes. But, that was one of the problems I've had with him is that, all right, well, the defense are going to know what they're going to, go into a 3-man zone, in the paint. And then what? What do and the Max, I mean, granted, he's been doing a lot better with the assists and passing in transition, but other than Buddy Hield, who else is making the 3-pointer? Cameron Payne looked nice on his debut, but ever since then, it's kind of been a silent treatment.
And this is where the Kyle Lowry addition fits in as well. You look at and I just want to be clear, like my expectation for Lowry isn't for him to be like some starter and make that big of an impact. But, in these kind of fourth quarter situations, that's what Lowry can absolutely give you when it comes to ball handling. You can kind of let Maxey play a little more off ball. He can help in a lot of regards in that way. That I think will open up things for Maxey. So Maxey played 39 minutes in this one. The starters played a lot of minutes. Paul Reed, 39 minutes. Buddy Hield, 44 minutes. We've seen this storyline before. And unfortunately, like there are flashes when this offense is humming, man, and it's really fun to watch. But I don't know what happened there in the fourth quarter. I call it they just got gassed. They lost their legs, and
yes,
things just started to become quicksand.
And I agree. I just think coming down the stretch, and I don't think Nick Nurse put these guys in a better defensive spot. Now, I don't know if that's exactly his job, but I definitely thought he can be. Like I said, I just thought Bolster just made some adjustments. Wound up picking apart this Sixers team. I mean, he was doing an okay job throughout, but when they weren't making threes, they were finding ways to the paint, and they were just making adjustments, dishing out the ball. Marshawn Lynch checking in again. He goes, Kelly Oubre has not been the same since getting hit by a bicycle. I think he's been fine since then. Mitch, how do you feel about this one?
The thing with me was the 3-point shooting. I mean, obviously, that's what we've been lacking ever since Melton Covington, and Batum have been out. But someone else has got to step up here. Buddy Hield did great in the beginning. He was on fire. Kelly Oubre was just a plain goose egg from 3. It's inside of the backboard. It was just like even Paul Reed hit a 3. Paul Reed only shot 1 3, and Quavion was only playing 3 minutes. I mean, that's where the 3-point shooting comes in. Give him more minutes. Have him with his confidence, along with Ricky Council Jr. or Ricky Council IV. The 3-point confidence is there. Got to use that. Got to exploit. Got to have that. And a campaign. I've been talking about him. I've been a huge fan of him ever since Phoenix Suns. But damn, 1 for 7, 0 for 5 campaign. Come on, man.
Yeah. I think he had a pretty cold night. The Saturday night from the perimeter as well. Yeah. So Better Green also checked in. One he said before, he said Maxey needs to dish out when he penetrates. Then he also says, I think Cameron Payne has been solid ever gaining since except for tonight. Dodge, how do you feel
about campaign?
Yeah.
He's been sensational. Obviously the floor spacing. He's a great shooter, but I'm excited to see him and kind of Lowry lock down the backup guard position. I think Payne is really good. We've seen him make some really nifty passes to Paul Reed in the pick and roll.
Yes,
I have zero complaints about campaign. Will he get hunted in the playoffs? Possibly. I don't know yet. That's probably what I'll circle back to in a few months from now. I get less than a few months, in a month or two from now. Can he stay on the court and survive? I don't know. But you see the fit with Embiid. You see kind of some flashes of creation with the ball. I've been nothing but good with campaign. He wasn't very much involved in this one. I feel like his minutes are gonna go down pretty significantly with Lowry coming, just like Turk, unfortunately. But yeah, I think the take probably through 3 quarters was, man, the Sixers backcourt is damn good. Like with Hield and Maxey and those two were unbelievable in the first half.
Yes.
In the first half, combined, they had 34 total points, 11 assists, 13 of 21 from the field. They were rocking and rolling, man. So it's there. You could see the trickle effect of not having Embiid out there big time, but it's not enough.
No, not enough. And again, listen, I'll take it coming down the stretch. After being on losing 4 straight, again losing 7 out of 8 games. You took 2, you took 1. Yeah, you beat a really, really bad basketball team in Washington. However, you beat a really, really superb team, one of the best teams in basketball. and then you kind of lost a nail biter come down the street. It's down the stretch and getting kind of fatigued, so that kind of hurts. Dave Arnold checked in. He said Nick Nurse is known to run starters into the ground. You can see it tonight. Mitch, how you feel about that? Cowboy Dave, my man. What's up, buddy?
Honestly, keep on getting tired. I'm tired of the Nick Nurse running the starters to the ground because obviously we're missing a couple of our key players still. So I'm just like I'm getting kind of tired of that narrative. But it is what it is, man. We're missing players.
Yeah, and then Barrett Green said there are only 9 players who trust tonight. How was Nick Nurse supposed to distribute the minutes? There was nobody left.
I'm not even upset at I'm not even upset about this loss. I just want to make that clear. Like they fought. It's just more disappointing because it was there. It was there. This would have been a really good win with the Knicks going down and the potential moving up in the standings. This team just needs to float. They just need to survive this next month or so in the standings. And it was there for the taking. Unfortunately, they got cold at the worst time possible. They made some bad decisions with the basketball, and it got away from them. But I'm not upset at all. I thought this again, just like the last few games since the trade deadline, like the way that Buddy Hield has unlocked Paul Reed is really exciting. There are a lot of things to be excited about as a Sixers fan over the last several games.
Yeah, and I agree. I think there's a lot to be excited for. You got a shooter. I get it. And a lot of people were not happy with the moves at the trade deadline. But to me, I'm like, well, you kind of found a diamond in a rough with Ricky Council the Fourth. Taekwon Smith can shoot a little bit. You just got to give him a little bit more playing time. And then you got Buddy Hield. You brought Buddy Hield and Cameron in here. Cameron Payne in there. So you did not all is lost in Philadelphia. And to me, I know I caught a lot of heat for this, especially on Sunday show. I think you got rid of all the pieces you didn't need for this team. They weren't a fit. You got rid of the Korkmaz, the Morrises, guys that just weren't fitting. I mean, once in a while these guys were clicking and showing you sparks here and there. Once in a while they would have a game, but most of the times than not, that bench was cold, ice cold. So I think the Sixers won there. So but that's just my opinion. And my man Tex says, at this point, I just want entertaining basketball in a playoff spot. And look, you'll get there. And who knows? Just being optimistic with my blue and red sunglasses. Hopefully, Embiid comes healthy just then, and just his service alone on the floor, whether it's men's restriction, should be available to you. So I think that'd be fine.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah.
And actually, just one thing. I made a video about this a couple days ago. So Buddy Hield proved us fans right. And what I mean by that, just like his game, we were clamoring. We were begging for Buddy Hield for years to come. It should have been a couple years earlier. But now we got him. He's up there with the Seth Currys, with the JJ Redick, and stuff like that, shooting wise. Off the screen, pop, top of the key. I'll take that. So he proved us right. So, hey, welcome Buddy Hield to Philly. He should have got the keys to the Marcus Morris. I'm being honest here. Why did Morris get the key?
I liked the trade deadline.
I did too. I did too.
Totally good. Now, do I believe in Daryl Morey and stuff to make the right decisions, right the ship this summer? No. But in terms of what they should have done, they did exactly what I expected them to do. Or what I thought they should do. I never expected Morey to actually go through with it. I think Sixers fans overrate Pat Beverly terribly. I think they overrate Morris.
Thank
terribly.
you.
These guys were just guys. And listen, I know Pat Bev has that dog in him, but they're just guys. And Sixers fans love them some backups. But we're already seeing even KJ, who shouldn't have been out there in the fourth quarter on that floor in clutch minutes, but he's been a lot better since the trade deadline too, because he's getting consistent burn. Like, what do you think, Doc? Like, real quick aside, what do you think Doc Rivers would say to like guys like KJ and Ricky Council just taking 10 shots taking 10 shots. He wouldn't play for the next month or two.
No,
Nah.
no.
Again, this was the right decision. They need to play these guys. They need to play Ricky Council. They need to play these guys so they're ready for the playoffs. I was 1,000% good with everything we saw in the trade deadline, and let the kids play. Let the kids play. Let them grow. Yeah.
All right, we're going to get this last question here before I go. Player of the game. Here goes my man Barry Green. He goes, I think this is a blessing because now a deep bench players are getting minutes, and Nurse is taking the opportunity to tinker. All you need to do with the top 8 at the end. Yeah, listen, if you can sneak into the playoffs with, and you get a healthy Embiid back, look, the sky's the limit. Then all bets are off. But look, that's a tall order you're going to be asking for. And like I said, we're all in just trying to be optimistic here of hoping an MB come back full healthy April, May, and be ready to go come playoff time. And listen, this is going to give this playoff break will give Nick Nurse a little thing to reevaluate himself in the mirror and find out what he wants to do moving forward and all that stuff, and reevaluate what he wants to do with these players. Kind of work things out. Why have a nice little break, but let's get into a player of the game. Let's cue that up. Let's go here. Let's go. All right. Well, Dive, since you haven't been here in a while, my man, you can kick us off. Who is your player of the game?
It's got to be one of two, and I'm going to take my guy. I'm going to go Ricky Council the fourth.
I knew it.
Whoa.
I knew it.
Again, gave them some juice there in the third quarter when the Heat were on like 11-2 run. He had a really nice drive and fake. He was really bodying the Heat pretty well on drives. The Miami players were just bouncing off of him. I love the confidence. In 3 games, he's had 13 shot attempts, 7 and 10 shot attempts in limited minutes. He's rebounding the ball. He's moving the basketball. For me, it's got to be Ricky Council as a potential guy that can really give the Sixers some energy, some big time energy come playoff time. So you look at no Marcus Morris, you look at looking for a wing to step up. It's got to be Ricky Council, especially when you're going up against some playoff teams that have some very, very talented wings. Looking at you, Boston, looking at you, Milwaukee, like all those guys have depth at the wing position, and we're going to need Ricky Council to be a dog and grow up very, very fast. So give me Ricky Council.
Ricky Council for Dives. Mitch, who do you got?
I'm gonna go with Tyrese Maxey here. I'm gonna go with Maxey. He had 30 points. Just if he did not get injured by Paul Reed stepping on his foot, he could have had 40 tonight. I really feel like he would have had 35 to 40 if he didn't get injured. But he came back. He put up the points. He led the charge exactly what he needed to do. So, yeah, mine's Maxey.
Yours is Maxey, and I'm going to go with Barry Green. Give me Buddy Hield. Just that first half, he was sensational with 5 threes. That dude was just, like I said, just whether when he was in spacing off the pick and roll, whether he got whether he had a defender in his face, he was just unloading. And this is, again, for the last 2 weeks, I said my player game was Franklin the Dog. But no, it's actually I got a player here, and that's my man Buddy Hield. So, yeah, Buddy Hield, 22 points. Again, sensational in the first. The way he was just hitting some jumpers tonight inside the paint and around the paint. I thought he did a sensational job. So give me Buddy Hield tonight. So
Wow.
that's my guy.
How about this, man? Buddy Hield. In every game with the Sixers so far, 4 games, he's had at least 4 made 3-pointers.
Yep, I made
In
that in my
every,
video a couple days ago. It's crazy.
Yeah.
In every game, he's had at least 6 assists. He has 7 steals in 4 games. That's insane.
That's what I'm saying. Like, we know, like I said, where the defense has to keep their eyes laser focused on Maxey, but then you have someone with distance, so someone who can shoot the rock. And I think, like you said, if maybe you would put Cameron Payne on the floor other than KJ Martin, which scratched a lot of people's heads, I don't know, you might have won this game. So, like I said, you just need a shooter. I mean, obviously you can't match defense, and that's where Bolster kind of beat you. So that's the numbers for the Heat right there. And again, you just see Hero with 23 points, Bio at 23. Again, Mr. Robinson, Duncan Robinson with 20. Again, these guys were just, especially Bio, just nasty. He was just nasty tonight. Again, that one block he's trying to make. Like I said, Duncan Robinson just shooting the lights out from the perimeter as well with 5 threes himself. Again, and their bench. That was the most important part. Their bench kind of stepped up for them. You see Highsmith with 4 threes. So
it sucks too because Duncan Robinson was out early in this one. I think he picked up 3 quick fouls, and that was a low key storyline. But I wish the Sixers kind of targeted him a little bit more because he only ended up with 4 personal fouls and 5 of 7 from 3. So
yeah, so we'll see. We'll see what happens. But let's get into grades of the game. Let's cue that up, and I'm curious to see what you guys have. Let's roll.
Won't you give me sweetness and light for my restless mind? Please give me a way to escape this world gone astray. You could give me a little piece of mind.
All right, Mitch. I'm going to go with you. What was your grade of the game?
And hold on, before I go into that, Dodge, you got to finish the player of the game, but his quick minds is still there. All right, the team grade. The team grade thing, quick minds is still there.
oh my gosh,
Tech must have just went to Foreman's Mills and grabbed the last of Corkman jerseys.
But for me, I got to go with B-, man. I got to go with B- because the lack of intensity in the late fourth, just having to, oh my God, I was going to say Cavaliers. The Miami Heat running away with it, no answer to get out of the zone that. So I got to go B-.
Okay, I like it. Dives, where are we going?
I'll go a little bit higher than Mitch. I'm probably like at a B+. You're missing 4 starters. You're missing 2 backups. I know the Heat are missing guys as well, but I thought they played hard. I thought Paul Reed had a phenomenal game, especially in the first half. We didn't really give him a shout out. I know he struggled there, just like everyone else there in the fourth, but I thought Paul Reed was terrific defensively, rim protection. So for me, I'm going to B+. It just got away from them at the end. It's disappointing, but I thought there were more positives than negatives in this.
Yeah, I'm going to go with I'll go with a B. Just the fact, like you said, coming in with being shorthanded, coming off a big fat win against Cleveland. Again, kind of took this one down to the wire. And if I'm going to blame anyone for this loss, I'm going to blame Nick Nurse. Not setting up the not just their defensive pounder. I know these guys were getting tired, but I mean, you could still just figure a way to come up with some defensive ideas, to me anyway, and giving KJ Martin a much more playing time than he should have had. So, but yeah, I will give these guys a lot of credit for their due. Just the way they just been balling out as of late, and the way that Buddy Hield was just on fire tonight, and like I said, just unfortunately come down the stretch. Fatigue played a role, and so did the coaching. So, but yeah, that's what happens when you get against. Yeah.
Right. Quentin, I promise you, moving forward, in random post-game shows, we will have a stinger that's all Furkan Korkmaz highlights. I'm not going to tell you when.
Yes.
I'm not going to tell you when. I'm not going to tell you which game, but there will be some Korkmaz jokes put into these videos. 1,000%.
Listen,
hilarious.
Like I said, it's somewhere in court. You go right in the form mills, right on the ground. It's not on the rectum where it's on the ground. It's on the ground. Kick to the someone that's got about 4 or 5 stomps on it by now, shoe marks. You'll find yourself a Korkmaz jersey. Okay, you could be the saving grace. You can hang it up.
Yeah.
B+ for these guys is fatigue. All right, last final thoughts and plugs. Dives, where are you at? And what's your final thought on this game?
Final thought was it's okay. This is a much needed break for the Sixers here heading into the All-Star break. My goodness, their schedule over the next several weeks is ridiculously tough. So please get healthy. I don't know what kind of virus is going through this team. It's horrible. I'm glad Maxey didn't get hurt. That would have been brutal if he actually didn't come back out of that locker room. But overall, it was a hard fought loss, moral victory. I don't know if you want to say that. But plugs, you can find me anywhere you want on this channel. Shorts, videos, pre-recorded videos. I did a first round mock for BGN yesterday. Go check that out.
Okay.
But yeah, all my top 10s are out on the draft, shorts, you name it. It's all there.
All right. And listen, guys, go give him a follow. Give him Mr. Crockpot on TikTok, on Twitter, you name it. He's there. Give him a holler, guys. Great guy. Great following. Again, he does a lot of work here. He's with the pioneer, the backbone to EOP. And of course, Mitch, where can people? I know you have a show tomorrow. Matter of fact, you still be on the show tomorrow, right? Kelly Green Hour.
Fly like an eagle. Fly like an eagle. I was like, wait, Kelly Green Hour. I've done that.
Dude, there's so many Eagle pods out right now. I'm fly like an eagle.
Hey, shout out
Eagle
to
Star
guys,
Jacket
man.
pod.
Shout out to those guys, man. But no, Fly Like an Eagle podcast tomorrow. Dives is going to be on it with me. We're going to do a mock draft, talk about Hassan Reddick a little bit. So it's going to be a good one. So tomorrow, 7:15.
There you go. And of course, you guys know, check me out here. My final thoughts is I thought this team played hard, fought well, far down, gave a nice little fight down the wire. Kind of things didn't work out. I felt, against Bolster, just kind of outcoached, and took advantage of a tired Sixers team. But guys, tomorrow, of course, right after Fly Like an Eagles pod, you can check me out on the Attack and Third. Of course, following after that, I got the Flyers post-game show, Clear the Ice, with my idiot broadcast partner, Mike Laro. And, of course, you guys know, beat reporting for the Philadelphia Wings and for the Philadelphia Union, of course. You guys know, PM and the AM every Sunday morning at 9 a.m. with that Dada Duke, Mike Laro, and that big old hairy nipple himself, Al Safiri. Guys, thank you so much. It's been a great show. Again, until I think a week from now, we'll be back with some Sixers conversation. All right, guys. Yep. Thanks so much. Peace.
There you guys.
How we at? Yep. There we are. There we go. I'm a little slow.